Well, it's been a minute since I last did a video. I apologise, guys. There's been a lot going on. I come at you with new hair and a moon face. So you probably guessed from the title or seen from the title that there has been progression with the cancer. So I'll go rewind. We'll rewind back because obviously it's been quite a while. There's been a lot going on. A lot of it's been quite intense in the past couple of weeks. So it hasn't been, anyway, right. So the last time I did a video, I had taken some time off before I had radiotherapy on the node in my windpipe to spend some time with the kids through the summer. Summer was a freaky washout. It was absolutely diabolical. We still had a good time. We had lots of fun. But about 1 to 2 weeks into the holidays, I actually started to feel quite ill. But everyone was starting to get colds. There was coughs, there was colds, people were getting headaches and dizziness. So we didn't really think much of it. And then it sort of progressed through the holidays. It carried on. It didn't really go. So by the time it got to the 31st of September and I went to see my consultant, I mentioned it to him. And we both agreed at the time that there was a lot going around. He'd been poorly. There'd been lots going around. My daughter had been ill. My dad had been ill. There'd been a lot of things going around. So we sort of, it was noted, but we didn't really think much of it. So 2 weeks later, I went in for radiotherapy. I went in on the Monday. I had the radiotherapy. On the Monday afternoon, I came back. My kids were at school and I was really ill, and then I was violently sick, and I was violently sick all through the night, really poorly, headaches, dizziness, not feeling well. So the next day I had to phone up the radiotherapy department and say, I actually physically cannot come in, I'm too poorly. So they said, no, that's fine, don't worry, but see if you can come in tomorrow, which I did, and I was still very, very ill. I went in and my actual consultant was off at the time. He was away, so I saw a different lady, and she was extremely concerned. In fact, how much she was concerned me. But I was still thinking to myself, well, my daughter's been ill, my dad's been ill, lots of people have been ill. So at the time, I still wasn't too concerned myself. So, but she put me on high dose steroids, and she booked me a cranial MRI and a neck MRI because obviously that was her concern, was that it is spread to my brain. Which the next week the results came in and actually it had. So they found a tumour in my brain. They found a tumour in the bottom left of my brain, around here. It's about 1 inch in size. But to look at the positives, there's just one in there. And when I spoke to my actual consultant, he said, actually, it's in a really good position and it's fully operable. But at that point, he said they wouldn't normally consider surgery if it's in another location in the body. So you need a full PET CT of the body to see if it's in another location. So I'm sitting here right now counting my blessings because I'm actually about to go in for surgery on this tumour because it's actually back in my windpipe too, but they have still agreed to do surgery. So I am so chuffed. I'm really, really pleased. I've just realised at the beginning I said I'd gone in for radiotherapy on my windpipe. I hadn't, it was my lung, wasn't it? It was my windpipe before. So it's come back in my windpipe and it's slightly bigger. But they've said that they'll deal with that. They're going to deal with the brain tumour first because obviously it's been causing me issues. So I'm sitting here right now waiting for a call from King's College in London to go in for neurosurgery tomorrow to have this tumour removed. So there we go. That's where we are right now. And it's, I mean, like I said, I'm counting my blessings. Like they're actually doing something. They can actually take it out, which is really good. I'm really pleased. I've got my bags packed. I'm ready to go. My kids are at my parents'. The reason I hadn't done an update was because I hadn't actually told my children until yesterday. They had a lot of things planned. There was like sleepovers and things, and I don't want to stress them for no reason. They don't need to know about things for a long time. You know, I've told them I'm going in. Now they know they're there and they can deal with that. So with the surgery, I've got to go in. I'm waiting for a bed, basically. They're a bit short of beds, so I'm waiting for a call. So if they want me in the night before, but if they haven't got a bed, I'll have to travel in the morning, which is fine. So I've got to go in. The surgery is around 4 hours and 15 minutes because I've agreed to a clinical trial with a camera so they can test out some new camera equipment they've got on brain surgery. So why not? You know, they've got to do it somehow. It's about 4 hours for the actual surgery. The neurosurgeon I saw said that he thinks, because I'm fairly fit and able, other than this issue, I'm fairly fit and able and capable, and I'm fairly healthy. He said he reckons 3 days and I should be out. But obviously, if there's any complications or any issues, then it could be longer. They put 3 to 7 days on their sheet, so it could be any time between there and then. They cut a small, so they make an incision and then they cut a small bit of the skull away. Sorry, if you're squeamish, you might want to fast forward this bit. they cut a small bit of the skull away, and then they go in and they take out the bits that aren't meant to be there, that they don't want in there. He said there's a bit that he's got to go into which is a bit more delicate than other bits, and that's kind of thing. He's gone through all the risk factors. There's the very obvious risk factors. We can all imagine what they are. But the other ones are sort of like the cerebral fluids can collect, and there can be issues with that, the drainage and things like that. So, but then they put the bit of skull back, they sew you back up, and Bob's your uncle. So yeah, hopefully it will be as straightforward as that, and we won't have any issues. I did another. There's two little trials I'm doing. They did a cognitive ability test beforehand as well, which was absolutely hilarious. He asked me one of the questions, and my mind went totally blank, and I was like, I can't answer. I just can't think. It was something like, it did things like say like a man's name, and then something beginning with the same letter, the first letter. So like Barry, Ball type thing. That one I was okay with, but I can't think of what the other ones were. My brain doesn't work properly anyway, so I'm not really the best candidate for this. But then they're going to test me again after and see how it compares. So we're going to do that. So yeah, there's all sort of, I can veer to the left. That's the other thing they did say, because it's on the left-hand side and they're taking that portion of the brain out. There might be some sort of wandering to the left. And then there's the facial swelling. You can see it's sort of like, you know, some of it I think is a little bit awake, and I am on steroids, but the puffiness is just unbelievable, and it's painful. My jaw hurts, my neck hurts, my face just hurts really bad. And then to top it all off, I was on the phone and then I coughed and they said, oh, you have to do a COVID test. So I did a COVID test and I've got COVID, but I actually feel okay. I don't feel ill from the COVID at all. I had a cough probably for about 2 days. I tested positive Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. And actually I didn't have really any symptoms at all. So, but obviously I've got to be careful for other people. It's other people, not just me. So I'm still very faintly showing today. I did a test today and they said you're probably going to have to be isolated when you come in, which I don't know if that's going to affect how easily I get to bed, because obviously they're going to be more sought after. They're sort of separate bits, trust me. So yeah, at the moment I'm just waiting for the phone call. I've got to get the train in because it's in London, King's College in London. So I went up there on Monday. I met the neurosurgeon. He's a really nice guy. We had a chat. He sort of showed me all the images and that kind of thing. And yeah, they're a really nice team. Yeah, it's a bit weird actually. I've messaged the lovely Harley. Hi Harley. I messaged her early on and said it's weird how I actually feel kind of excited. It's like when you get told, it's weird, isn't it? It's like you get given this bad news, but then you get given this good news, and it's like, yeah, we can do something about it. And actually it's quite exciting. I'm quite excited to go in and get it done. So I feel sorry for my kids, really. You know, they're the ones that are suffering the most through this, that they've got a, you know, my family, my mum, my dad, my sister and everybody. And I just feel sorry for everyone else having to cope with all the, you know, there's me just going off and having a bit of brain surgery, and they've all got to deal with the aftermath and the stress. And, you know, I think about how I would feel if that was my sister or my daughter or my mum, you know. So it's hard. That bit is hard, but I'm doing okay. I feel all right. Apart from that, I mean, the steroids have done the job. They've taken the swelling down. She explained it as my surgeon explained it as your skull is like a box, and then you get something that goes into it, and there's nowhere else for anything else to go. So the pressure can cause lots of problems and issues. And he said that basically the next stage would have been seizures. So, you know, it's lucky really that when I went in, that consultant was that concerned that she sent me in for that MRI, that they caught it that quickly, because obviously that would have been quite dangerous to just suddenly drop down with a seizure. So, but that's where we're at, guys. This is what's happened. This is what's going on. I would like to have a bit more time to have done other things before having to go back in for more treatment and things, but it is what it is. We just got to keep plodding on. So I'm sorry it's taken so long to do an update. Just in case anyone's thinking, oh my God, you've had your hair done and you're going in for surgery. I've actually had it undercut. So they're going to do an incision around here, I believe. So actually, it's all okay. It should work out all right. They might have to take a couple off at the top, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. I don't know how everyone else is getting on. I've had a few messages and things. I've got back to who I can. I'm sorry if I haven't got back to you. I'm going to try and vlog a little bit while I'm there. I mean, obviously, I don't, you know, it's like my kids were saying to me, what's it going to be like? How are you going to feel after? I really don't know. That's the good thing. They have been asking me lots of questions, so obviously they feel like they can sort of talk about it. That's been the usual sort of, are you going to remember who I am? And, you know, it must be really hard as a little kid to sort of, because you don't really, I mean it's hard for us to understand as adults, but it must be hard for children to kind of, you know, to understand sort of like they're taking a bit of your brain out. How are you still going to be alive? How are you still going to, you know, think? How are you going to, it's hard for them. So I'm pleased they're asking me lots of questions. I totally lost track of what I was saying then. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna try and vlog a little bit when I'm there. So I'm getting the train in. And then I'm hoping I'm going to be in tonight because it's going to be early. I think I'm going to have to be in quite early tomorrow in the morning otherwise. But it is what it is. If I have to go in early, I have to go in early. So I'm going to, if they don't phone me, I'm going to try and phone them again in a bit. I have phoned them once already. And I'll try and vlog a little bit, and I'll try and vlog a little bit after, keep you updated, show you my amazing scar. Yeah, so yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. And yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace out.